Hello, everybody. Today we have a lot of breaking news with the infrastructure deal passing, but I want to talk about Andrew Cuomo announcing that he will resign in 2 weeks, um, which will be 2 weeks from today. He will be resigning on August 24th. Um, and basically, I wanted to talk about first of all who will succeed him and the rise and fall of Andrew Cuomo, which is honestly. Um, it seems like a story when you look at the whole picture of it, when you look at the last year and a half. Um, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. But first off, I want to talk about who his successor will be. It's Kathy, I think, Hochul, Governor Hochul, future Governor Hochul. She's the Lieutenant Governor of New York since 2015. And to just go over her profile a little bit, she, just to give a little information on her, she, in 2011, um, flipped a long held Republican House seat. As you can see, it says to represent, she's the first Democrat to represent the district in 40 years. Um, so that is something that, I guess, um, you can consider when thinking of Kathy Hochul. It is storming right now, so my dog may bark or go a little crazy, but I decided to make this video now just to get the video out there. Yeah, she's the Lieutenant Governor of New York. She was a member of U.S. House from 24th District, so representative to Lieutenant Governor, and I guess county clerk. She's 62. She is not as progressive. She's not a super progressive. She's more of a moderate Democrat. Um, and she will be replacing Andrew Cuomo until, I believe, 2023, January 1st, 2023, based off of the 4-year term limits, or 4-year terms, not limits. But yeah, that's Governor Cuomo's successor. See her as the future face of New York. But now let's get into the rise and fall of Andrew Cuomo. Um, it's a very interesting story to talk about. Andrew Cuomo has, he. Let's start at the beginning at least. Well, first of all, Andrew Cuomo is the son of Mario Cuomo. He's the former governor of New York, and Cuomo took his place. He was also he was Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Attorney General, NGA chair, whatnot. Now he was a 56. He's still currently the 56th governor of New York. But he really started to pick up his name at the start of the coronavirus. Him and Trump had some back to backs, and he was really projected as the contrast of Trump uh, from Democrat to Republican in the sense that he was the Democrat who was, quote, leading the way on the coronavirus. CNN had him on all of the time. Just look at his brother Chris Cuomo's show where they, were joking around about how big his nose was and how he was doing so good on the coronavirus, and how at least them and many of the CNN anchors and people in the media were talking about how Cuomo was sort of the antithesis of Trump and doing a great job in the coronavirus with the cases, with everything. Flip to a year later, and Cuomo was being praised. People were asking him if he was going to run for president of the United States at some point. Biden was praising him. If you look, Biden had an interview where he said, Cuomo is the right way, we need to go. But a year later, and several sexual assault allegations later, and um, a nursing home scandal, and toxic work environment scandal, Cuomo is now planned to resign as governor of New York, which is such. I think this would be a perfect movie when you think about it. He had his rise, he had his fall, and this is just he hit the tip of the iceberg with the rise, and it was a really downhill area when he was in the fall. Now he's now. Uh, People are even saying he should face charges. Now we don't know what's going to happen. This is obviously breaking news today. He probably won't end up being charged with anything, um, but he has had multiple scandals prone. This is going to be a tarnish on his legacy. He probably would have had a much better legacy had this not come out. But let's talk about the different allegations against him. First allegation: nursing home deaths. This was when he forced people into not what am I saying? He forced old people into nursing homes, and essentially killed a bunch of them because they were all in the nursing homes and they were all spreading coronavirus like crazy when it was on I think it was the first wave, not the second wave. And, you know, thousands, I think 30,000 elderly people in New York died of the coronavirus, which is a bit funny because if they had, I believe, a few hundred more people in the New York census, they would have been able to keep their electoral vote, but they lost it. So I guess you can blame Andrew Cuomo if you're in New York for the loss of that electoral vote, just to make a little light out of that. But, he did end up killing a bunch of those elderly people with his policies, with that policy at least, and he didn't let family members see their dying elders in the hospital. And, that kind of suits with that scandal. But that is one of the major scandals. People are very upset with him about that. The fact that he stacked the nursing homes and made it essentially a hive ground, breeding hive, not a breed, just a big hive for the coronavirus. The second thing, many sexual assault allegations. People have come out against him. I think it's 11 women now accusing him of sexual assault in the workplace. We've seen this with plenty of politicians before, and it has ended plenty of politicians before. Take a look at Al Franken, and some have made it past. You can look at just overall scandal-prone. Ralph Northam made it past. Brett Kavanaugh made it past. But Al Franken resigned, and others resigned that I'm not knowing their names at the moment. That sexual assault thing is what's killing him. Democrats are really propping that up. Republicans are propping up the nursing homes. But both parties are really going after Cuomo. Both parties don't like him. Both sides of the Democrat Party don't like him. Both sides of the Republican Party don't like him. And he's had a really big fall, a really bad fall, from formerly had plaudits in the media for the great work that the quote great work that he was doing in New York. I personally don't think Andrew Cuomo is a particularly good person. I think he's a pretty disgusting person, a pretty terrible governor. He was very much praised in the media, and the media, I think, is continuing to lose their credibility with now the resignation of Andrew Cuomo, the man that they pronounced as this great guy, this great person who was leading the way on the coronavirus. And I think that Andrew Cuomo just does not deserve to remain governor. I think he's made the right move here. I don't think he should be prosecuted or charged, but I think that it's important that we move on from Andrew Cuomo. Just overall, not even because of all of the allegations. I just think, that suits him well. That suits him, and he's getting what he deserves in that sense. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I think that Cuomo should resign, and I think that it's a good thing that he's doing it for the state of New York especially. But anyway, that's all my thoughts on Cuomo. He's had a rise, he's had a fall. It's going to be an interesting movie someday to talk about him, to talk about especially everything that's happened in the last year and a half. Just over on the country, so much has happened in the last year and a half. But yeah, I think he's the perfect example of what the country's gone through in the last year and a half, and that we all need to take a look at the story that Cuomo has been a part of. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Andrew Cuomo. I just wanted to put the video out there, talk about his successor a little bit. We can go back to her, actually. Kathy Hochul. She'll be the 57th governor of New York, first female governor of New York, and I think a timely replacement for Andrew Cuomo, and will be good for the people of New York. So anyway, tell me what your thoughts are on Andrew Cuomo in the comments. I'm just making this video. I just decided to turn it on, talk a little bit about it. I don't really have anything pre-planned to say. So excuse me if I wasn't all there with everybody. My dog has driven me a bit crazy over the last few hours with the thundering. We've had a storm where we live. But, yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think of Cuomo. If you disagree with me somehow, please let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to respond to you. And like the video and subscribe. We're almost at 100 subscribers. I plan to do a really big video for that. I think it's a tri-prediction, governor, Senate, and presidential. And, subscribe if you can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to get to 100. And we're almost there. But like it, comment, and I can't wait to see y'all later. Have a great day.